Sorry I'm a minute late, guys. I just realised that my laptop power supply was not plugged in. So I'm watching like the little battery light drain away. And I'm thinking, why is that working? And then I looked at the thing and it's not glowing. And I was just like, oh my God. And I had to sort of move tables to get in. So, sorry. Now I'm all puffed. I was all relaxed and chilled. Like, yeah, doing all the things. Everything's great. Yep. Don't rest on your laurel, people. Don't rest on your laurel. So today I've got a couple of things. I've got my spinning wheel out. I was going to use my little gem. I was going to give it a bit of service yesterday afternoon, just give it a bit of a run over. It hasn't been loved for a while. Abby's had sole ownership of it for a couple of years. And I was wondering why she hadn't been using it, and she said it was just because it was too noisy, and that just didn't sound right because it's a Margicraft wheel, and Margicraft don't make noisy wheels, but it turns out something's happened, and I've just got to, clean some stuff up. I'd say Abby was a bit rougher with it than she has admitted. Or, it could have just been shoved under a table for so long that stuff's happened. So I'm going to get that fixed. But in the meantime, I've got my Susie Pro. And yes, I do have a tea towel because, as usual, in true Chantel form, I decided to spin today and then wear black pants. So I don't want to get blue fluff all over my black pants. Good morning to everybody who's here. How are all of you going? My mouth is totally not working today. Natasha W says, I finally made it after holidays and work meetings getting in the way. Well, you need to do what other people do, which is block it out of their calendars so nothing can get in the way. No, I'm kidding. I totally understand work stuff. So prizes for today are a set of the Olivine blinglets. So I'll see if that can, do you work there, Mr. Camera? Come on, there you go. Good job. And also a blue Nancy's Knickknacks Notions case. So I'll just open this up. There you go. So any of you who don't have one of these should really just stop that and fix the problem. So that's one prize. And then we have a hank of the Sir Sinus in beautiful red. I didn't name them, it's just red. And it's 70% baby alpaca, 30% silk, 460 meters to 100 grams. It makes a goodly sized shawl. So it'll go a long way, and it's so squishy, but I cannot wear it because it's got alpaca in it. So isn't it weird? I can skein it, I can dye it, but I can't use it, like as in I can't crochet with it or knit with it, and I cannot wear it. So I don't know what the problem is there. I've decided to wear my glasses today just so I could have my screen a bit further away so I could be nearer my spinning. And it means I can actually read the chat without doing this. So, we don't want that. That's just terrifying. Is that the same color as Wanda? Look, it's technically not. It's similar, but it's not the same. There's heaps of people in the chat today. Where are we? Hi, Brian, how are you going? Hi, Julie. Hi, Marion. Michelle. Michelle was first one in the chat, you guys. She was waiting. Tara, how are you going? I have a co-worker who's always squinting at the screen because she always forgets her glasses. I don't actually need my glasses for reading, but I need them for distance, and because of how far away this screen is and how small it is. It's just my little Surface Pro. I'm actually really proud of my Surface Pro and how well it goes with all this sort of stuff. It's been going like a trooper all week. I've had it like double monitor, like attached monitor to it. It's had extra hard drives hanging off it. It like so much work for such a little thing. Gamer Widows panic, have run out of thank you cards. Oh no, you're going to have to do something about that. Linda says, the fiber sample box is amazing and I want to order them all. I actually totally understand that. That's the problem, isn't it? Once you've touched them. My favourite is the Aurora. So have a squish of the Aurora and that one's really good. Allegra and Game Widows having a chat. The word you need is a sponge bar for your knitting machine. Yes, okay. I definitely need sponge bars for my knitting machines. I haven't changed the sponge bars in a while, but I think I've missed something. Shell sends her apologise. She has an appointment and visitors this morning. Oh my God, Shirley. Like, you can tell her that that's not hardcore Fiberifian enough. No, I'm just teasing. So everything looks clear, guys. You can hear everything okay. So I wanted to start today off. I'm going to start these off for a little while. Okay. I have some plans. I have some plans to put out an extra video each week, but it's short and it's just little and it's like a cup of coffee kind of thing. And it's not going to be the same thing every week, but I've got people missing my Stuff I Love videos and things like that. But I can't do a Stuff I Love every week. So what I was going to do is like a Stuff I Love once a month, and then like a book review once or twice a month. So like a what's in my bookshelf, and then a what I want in my bookshelf. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things. So I had a look at my bookshelf last night, and I was having a think about, I was all nostalgic, you know, back when, you know, life was easy. Life was never easy. Who am I kidding? And so I dug out, I'm not 100% certain this is correct, but from my recollections, it's either one of two books. So I actually brought them both. And it's the first pattern book I ever bought, okay? So, and I can't work out which one it was, but I truly believe my first pattern book was Everyday Crochet from Doris Chan. Don't be thrown by this one on the cover. I wanted to make, I'll see if I can find it. This was like one of my first overseas buys. This was when Book Depository was shipping free to Australia and wasn't owned by Amazon, you know. That's how long ago we're talking. Where is it? It was a little top. Because I don't like my arms, shocker, shocker, but I do like to wear singlets. I cannot find the pattern, hang on. I quite often wear little tops over my singlets. And so I went and on the hunt, as you do, through Ravelry. And every pattern I found was out of this book, basically. I wanted to make, I cannot find it. Where is it? Oh, here we go. We're in the right section now. Is it the Mocha Rocker? Oh, no, here we go. Soft Serve. It was Soft Serve. I'm trying not to give away the pattern. Oh, there'll be a big picture of it, Chantel, without any pattern stuff if you just go one more page. Oh, look at that. Oh. Soft Serve. I wanted to make it, but without the weird little tie at the front, so I stuck a button in instead, right? So, is a singlet like a cami? Yeah, sort of. Yeah, but you can, like here, like we have thicker ones that you can just wear without putting it under stuff. So yeah, so I wanted to make this, and I couldn't get the pattern anywhere by itself, and I was very frustrated because I didn't understand why I couldn't just have the one I wanted, because we're talking quite a few years ago now. Like this, it's actually got sun aging on its cover. And so I bought it, and it was the best thing I ever did was buying this book, because it has so many patterns in it. It has like a gazillion patterns with ways, like this is another one I really like, the Haru. I don't know if you guys can see these. You're going to have to just, the lighting I did not plan for this task. But yeah, so many good patterns in it and really easily to do. I learned how to do base chaining. I learned so much stuff because of this book. And it was like, it wasn't my first wearable. The first wearable I made was a Jenny King jacket. What was it called? I can't remember. But I made it out of scratchy wool, which was the worst decision I ever made. But it was beautiful, and I used to wear it with a big hand carved button. It was fantastic. But then I got this book and I loved it. And then after that, I became a Doris Chan tragic. And then I think it would have been after it, but I bought Amazing Crochet Lace, which is another one of her amazing books. And I do think this one was first, and then this one was second, but but I'm not 100% certain. So I'm going to pop some links in because they're so cheap now. I mean, they were cheap back then considering, I think I found Everyday Crochet in an actual bookstore here in Brisbane, but they wanted like $65 for it, and I was so like, don't have that budget. I totally don't have a $65 budget for a book that I'm not sure if I'm going to like. And then, I don't know, I think a friend suggested it, or I got an email, because I think I'd bought some books from Book Depository before, like novels and stuff. And so I went that way and had a look, and I think I got it for like £9 with free postage. I was just like, oh my God, I totally have to have this. And then, yeah, and that then became my book addiction, because I found places that I could buy them from that I could afford. And then I was severely frustrated with Australian bookstores because they all wanted like $60 a book. I don't think it's so bad now, but back then that was totally how it was. I think this was about 2007. Like, we're talking a long time ago. So yeah, so doing that was the best thing I did. So I'm going to pop some links in into the video for the replay. I might even see if I can just do it now. Actually, no, I won't do it now because I don't want to upset my computer system. And I really want to spin. The other thing that I really want to show you today, which I wasn't going to do, but I was at Aldi this morning buying supplies like milk and, you know, crackers, because I'm a cracker addict. But they've got the old Choose Your Own Adventures for $5. So I had to buy one because I love Choose Your Own Adventures, and it's like the classic series. It's the first ones. It was, yeah. I love Choose Your Own Adventures. I actually listen to Will Wheaton over on Twitch, and he reads Choose Your Own Adventures, and then the chat actually vote on who's gonna, you know, which page he's gonna turn to. So that's really exciting. So, I'm just going to jump around because my brain's like that. I have all my fibre all ready to spin. It's all been dizzed. It's all in little roundy nest things. So I was just going to start that. But I'll just have a quick scroll through the chat because I missed so much. Oh, look, I've got my... I'm trying to scroll on the wrong screen again, you guys. Goodness me. Is it just me, or is a live chat that's on the screen really fuzzy? I'm not sure. It shouldn't be fuzzy. Was it fuzzy last time? We've got an orange signal, you guys, so we didn't get that last time at all. We had green all the way, so I'm not sure what's going on with the interwebs. I hope it's not going to play up. Oh, it's just you, Kim. Look, I don't have mine on full screen and that's fine. Oh, okay, you're right, it was just Kim, so that's cool. Julie says we no longer have a bookshop, just Target. That's disappointing. I thought you were going to say a magnum of bubbles for $20. I'm sorry to disappoint you so badly. I haven't made anything from the book yet, read the patterns and decided it was all too hard, but that was a long time ago. Look, I know that, like, because I used to chat with Doris Chan on Ravelry, because I was that fan. And she said that, because I asked her one time why it was written how it was written, because there is a little bit of jumping around and backwards and forwardsing, but basically the publisher wanted to shorten it and make it, like, you know what it's like, they want less space for words, more space for pictures, because pictures sell the patterns, apparently. But yeah, so she had to make it so like anything like that. So there's like a section of a particular style and it uses the right sort of, not the right, but the same sort of patterning. So she'll have like a page for all the patterning and then you have to skip backwards and forwards. So I found post-it notes invaluable when I was working out of that book. Actually, the two videos are very good, but the chat on the video is a bit fuzzy. That's weird that it's the chat that's fuzzy. That's totally weird. I don't understand that at all. Out of everything to be fuzzy, it's the chat. So, oh gosh, I went thin. So, I had my appointment with my surgeon yesterday, you guys, and I'll be going in just for a knee arthroscopy in December. So we're going to go in and have a look and see what can be done, but he's not hopeful. He thinks it might be just a case of a bit of a tidy, but I'm going to have to adjust to some facts. That is, my knees are those of a 70-year-old. So I suppose some part of me has to be acting my age, really. Well, I'm not 70, but you know what I mean. So yeah, it's one of those things, and there's a lot of arthritis in there, which has been there since I was about 15. So that's not new, but it also means a lot of the options are out the window because you can't work over arthritis. So yeah, it'll be you know, hopefully it'll be a bit better, and we'll work around some solutions. And he's given me some really good things to think about and some options, and it was really nice. So he was very good. He was very good. I was very stressed out. I've had a bad surgeon before, and I was a little stressed out, and he wasn't bad. He was awesome, actually. No, they don't like to do knee replacements on people my age if they can avoid it. Oops, I just took that right off. Because they don't actually solve a lot of the problems, which apparently is, yeah, it's weird. Jen wants one of those. Ooh, I want one of those. Jen, I don't know what you want one of. Is it both knees? Yes, I have arthritis in both knees, but my left knee is definitely my worst knee because it was damaged in a squash issue. My mum's knees are those of a footballer, according to a specialist, and she's over 70. Is that good? Is that a good thing? I don't know if that's a good thing. Oh, I'm guessing Jan wants a booze advent calendar. I want a booze advent calendar. Who doesn't want a booze advent calendar? Hang on, I've got this spinning just a bit too fast. It's been a while since I've spun, guys, and I'll tell you something right now before anyone asks. Because my surgeon was like, taking some weight off will certainly help, but you're going to be in a very interesting position because you have to do low impact, zero pain. If it hurts, it is damaging you kind of scenario. And I was just like, really? And he, like, zero pain. He's like, if the second it starts hurting, you should stop whatever it is you're doing, even if it's walking. And I was like, really? Because that's not the information I've been given in the past. It was like, just walk through it because you've got to lose the weight. Losing the weight's the most important thing, la, la, la. And he was like, no, it's not. The most important thing is you're not wrecking your knees even more, which is what that will do. Jen says her husband had a partial knee replacement 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I had a partial knee done about 20 years ago when I first busted it playing squash. But anyway, so off the knee talk, treadling is fun, and treadling takes away the pressure out of my knee, especially on these, like, not on every wheel. Some wheels don't, some wheels hurt, but the Smartcraft treadling is such, oops, I just literally elbowed the table out of the way. So I don't know if it's, that's all right, it's okay. I only elbowed it a bit, didn't seem to make much of a difference. So knitting is good therapy for your knees, yeah. Yes, it totally is, it totally is. So I'm gonna have to wait and just have slow dyeing. I'm not gonna be able to dye big batches anymore because I can't stand there that long. And it's one of those things I just have to accept it and not expect a miracle out of it. So it's disappointing in that regard, but also positive that something can be done so I hopefully won't be in constant pain. So that would be sweet. But yeah, so when I was trying to work out, I'm going to move on. When I was trying to work out what theme to do for today's video, and I was like, I'll do up my little gem and I'll get it going, and I'm like, what am I going to spin? Should I spin some Aurora or some of the, yak or something like that? Then I was like, how many spinning whips do you have, Chantel? Do you really need to start another one? Because I'm not kidding, just on this wheel alone, I've got this bobbin here that was waiting for me to finish off the bat. these two bobbins down here, right, they're full of, that one's got some Silken Aurora or something on it, in like a cream. I'm not sure if you can see it's a cream. Hang on. There you go. That's probably a bit better. It's a cream. It's a bit of an off-white cream. And then, get back on there, you. Then this one has got some really fine lace that I'm doing out of some 14, oh, that's not a camera, Shanta, out of some 14 micron merino from Nui Milton that I've been hand washing lock by lock. And I was just like, I should really, you know, finish one of those projects. Also, on my Ertol electric, I've got these two bobbins that have been sitting there for ages. I'm, you know, sure if you've seen any of the Instagram photos of my lounge room, there's this spinning wheel with these two bobbins. Now, I gotta, you know how you get those Facebook reminders? Like, hey, this happened X amount of years ago. Isn't that awesome? Well, turns out I spun that stuff up 2 years ago and it's still sitting there waiting to be flied. So, you know, oops. Any recommendations for good books to teach yourself spinning? I'm going to be really honest. I don't like books for teaching spinning. I like videos because I need to be able to see what's happening and stuff like that. So I think I'll find some links, but there's a couple of really good ones that Interweave did a few years ago with what's her name? Abby Francomont did one, and another lady whose name has just like lost my mind. Yeah, I went thin again. Sorry, Kim. I'm trying to fix it. Here we go. Is this better? Is that better? You can see it now? Just barely though. I was sort of torn about what to focus on with that camera. I can move it around and make it closer if you like. I have a Fantasia Kromsky, oh hang on, Allegra, except every single long draw technique video I see the person is all, it's so easy, which is a total, oh yeah, long draw is totally a skill that needs to be learnt with practice and time and patience, because it's not totally easy. You've got to get the right amount of twist before you start your draw, and then you've got to make sure it maintains that amount of twist all the way through the length of the draw and then feed it on. No, I would say it's easy once you've been doing it for 20 years like anything else. Tara says I have a Kromsky and I only have 3 bobbins, so no whip except one at any time. See, 3 bobbins. I've got like 8 bobbins. So what's 2, 3? Yeah. I've got about 8 bobbins across 2 wheels. So it's across the 2 Marja Crafts. Maybe I've got more. Oh well, I have all my storage bobbins. So if I get bored, I just wind it onto a storage bobbin. So oops. Craftsy has a good one for spinning. Oh, okay. Which one is that? I'll have to have a look because I've got a lot of the Craftsy spinning classes. I'd love to see your hands drafting if you're able to move the camera just a bit to the left. Let's see what we can do. Are we ready? Whoop. All right. Hang on. I'll just... Oh. Don't put the tripod up against the wheel because it doesn't work. Hang on. All right, let's see. We need to come a bit more around. There we go. No, yes, no. All right, let's... There's a cord. So I'm sorry about the cord. I can't really do a lot about that. So... what do you call this? This is my comfort zone, hang on, an inchworm, I think it's generally called. I pull the fibre back and draw it down. Is that better? Short forward? Yes, that's what it is, short forward. Mostly, but I do like to long draw when I'm spinning fine. I think the camera's struggling to focus. It keeps going in and out. Hang on. No, I don't know why it does that. Let's see if we can just bring it in just a little bit closer. There we go, it stopped. Okay. I just have to pull my hands in the shot a bit more. It just couldn't cope with that distance. It's just a little webcam, you guys. Probably a blue checkered tea towel was not the best option for this. Shift the cord. I can't shift the cord. I'm sorry. It's attached to the computer so you can see. So it runs across the spinning wheel to you over there. But if I can, that's probably the best I can do. Oh no, that's touching that now. Hang on. Yeah, there's not a lot I can do about the cord. Just because of how this is set up and everything's attached. It's not, is it? Yeah, it's not rubbing on anything. It's all good. It's just a visual. Sorry, guys. That's sort of why I had the thing around that way. Short backward. Yes. But then I push it forward, so I can never tell. I just spin. That's why I don't teach spinning, you guys. I don't know what anything's called. I just say, do whatever is comfortable and gives you the fiber that you want, and try all the things. That's what I say. It's like anything, like just keep trying it. Keep trying and trying and trying. So how many likes have we got today, guys? We've got 17 watching. I don't know how many likes there are. Do you twist the fibers with your fingers first? No, I do not. I'm not sure if you can see. I just pull it and lean it back, and I let the twist travel down. You can't see it, it's too far away, but a lot of the good spinning class videos will do big close-ups on the yarn. Whoop, hello. Lucky I'm after slubby and horrible. Well, it's not horrible, is it? Slubby. I like a fine yarn, so me letting these kinds of slubs and stuff through it's a real growing experience for me. So yeah, it's one of those things. Do the thing. What am I doing? I don't know. Did you learn on a drop spindle or a wheel? I learned on a wheel first. Then I learned how to drop spindle. Realised that I hate drop spindling so much. So much. And then I came across support spindling, which I love. Like, way much. How do you keep the same width, if that makes sense? Yes, it does make sense. And it's purely practice. It's just you get a feel for what, like, see, look at this. Can you see how fine that is? That's my go-to spinning. That's what I'm used to spinning, and I have to stop it. I'm what I call a 4-ply spinner because I mostly knit with 4-ply. So I tend to spin what I use. I don't use much art yarn. Actually, I probably won't use this either. It'll just sit in a drawer and languish. I learnt on a drop spindle first and loved it so much that I bought a wheel. See, I borrowed a wheel first, and then did a spinning class at my local spinning guild, and yeah, and that sort of, it's all from there. It's all from there. I learnt best on a wheel, and then went to drop. I learnt first on a wheel, then went to the drop spindle. So many people were telling me how much they loved their wheels on the weekend, but they didn't have them with them. Spindles are much more portable. Spindles are totally portable. I use my support spindles all the time. I take them away with me if I'm going away for a weekend. In saying that, my little gem, it will fit in the, in the back seat how you've got the footwell. It fits in there, no problems in its bag, so it doesn't take up too much space when you're travelling. I took my little gem on a road trip down to Victoria because I'll tell you a secret, you guys. Spun yarn takes up less space than fibre. So I went for a driving holiday all through like Nundle Mills and Bendigo and all the mill tour, like this is a few years ago. And as I went, I spun what I was buying. Each night I'd spin more because you could fit more in the car at the next stop. I'll be spinning on Sunday at the Beenleigh Historical Village with the Southside Spinners. Free open day 9 till 3. I didn't even know that was a thing, and I drive past it every single day, twice a day. You could buy vacuum bags and it would take up less room than fibre. That's true, but you know, I don't like to vacuum pack my fibre if I can avoid it. Oops, made that drawing. Oh, hello. Guess who didn't turn the sound off their laptop? Sound off. Mutage. Muted. I remembered it on my phone though. Proud of me. My auntie has a spinning wheel and uses it all the time. It's a pity she's an Albury. Yeah, it is a pity because you could learn from her. But, you know, Andrea, you could always come here and learn here. Hey, Brian, will you be in costume? Yay for remembering. So I'm just going to finish off this little piece that I've got here, and then I'm going to give away the blinglets and stitch markers. And I would like to know, if you spin, what's your preferred spinning thing, whether it's support spindle, drop spindle, Tarkley, spinning wheel, whatever's. And if you don't spin, what's holding you back from learning? So, yeah, have a think about that while I finish off this bit of green that's coming through that I really quite like. Janet Day dyed up this bat, and I just think it's amazing. I'll have to put a link in for her, and where are we? There we go. Yeah, I'll have to put a link in so that we can, you guys can go and drill at her gorgeous, gorgeous bats. Here we go. Oh, that's right, Caffeinated Crafters tonight, you guys. So anyone who's local in the Brisbane-ish area and can make it, we're at the coffee club at Browns Plains Village Square. So the coffee club in the big shopping centre area behind Bunnings. Where are we? Turkish spindles support Turkish and drop, even though I was cursing my Viking drop on the weekend. I bet you were. My preferred spinning is using my Sidekick double treadles. Yes. I actually just sold my Sidekick. But yeah, I will only spin on a double treadle wheel because otherwise I end up in agony from my knees. Whereas if I spin double treadle, I have zero pain, and it feels, I don't know if this is scientific or not, but I swear to God, it feels like the swelling is going away when I treadle. And only see how, I don't know if you can see how gentle my feet are rocking here, but that's about the speed I tend to treadle all the time. So, I spin thick and thin. I don't usually spin. It doesn't appeal to me. And that is fine too. I wouldn't know where to begin. Hang on a second. Hang on, you guys. I've got a visitor.
Are you doing a video?
Yeah, I'm just live. I'll give you a yell when I come out. Yep. That's my landlord. I have to go and visit him later. Oh no! The fiber's on my sock! And I rolled on it with my chair. I've got green fibre all over my sock. Look at that. Can you see the green all over my sock? What a waste. Alright, sorry. Hi Pocket 7. Hey, you've made it live. That's awesome. I fear my two children would play Spider-Man and shoot yarn webs everywhere. That's a distinct possibility. I hate to say it. You've kind of got to teach them that if they get their fingers caught in it, it hurts. That's what I did with Abby. Not sure. Life is getting in the way. I don't spin. I never thought about it. I just buy yarn. Fantasia is double treadle, but my antique one is single. And I can't wait to try it, thinking that my great-grandmother... That is actually... If it's got special meaning, that's a whole nother thing. But my mum doesn't craft. So I've sort of got no hand-me-down sort of traditions from that kind of edge. It's not me gate crashing this time. That's right, this time. I've got to make up a little sign to stick because I've got a piece of glass between me and them as well. So I could actually pop it up there so they would know. I'm the laziest treadler. Double treadle's the only way to go. I totally agree. I will not use a single treadle wheel. I just can't afford the pain. And you sit straight. Like, I'm not shooting straight because I'm talking to you guys. But Your feet are straight, pointing ahead. There's no angling, there's no bottle, but everything's straight up and down. And everything just seems to sit. I sit more comfortably, but it's a personal thing. It's like knitting, whether you continental or throw. I had a lot more of this left than I thought, so I'm thinking I might draw the winner. But this is really cool. You need the on-air light, I'm telling you. Okay, Kim. That would feel weird. It really just would feel really weird if I did that. Oh, look, I've got a big slubby because no one mentioned that I went to thin again. You could probably felt it in. Yes. Where are we? I love the little air spinning wheel. They do all my different spindles. What's a little air spinning wheel? I don't know what that is. My antique wheel hasn't been used by the last at least 2 generations, but it keeps being handed down. That's awesome. My wheels are all single treadle. I haven't had to go to double. Oh my God, look at this. I'm trying to do art yarn and just, I have to keep reminding myself, this is terrible. I have a blue bonnet thimble. It has a gate in the treadle like a bicycle. I don't know what that is. I know the blue bonnet thimble. Anyway, so the winner, sorry guys, we've gotten sidetracked, haven't we? I think you can get light boxes at Spotlight. Yeah, there's lots of things. I'm trying to scroll the wrong screen again because I'm clever. Okay, so the winner of the blinglets and the I've got my hand holding fibre. Nancy's Knickknacks Notion case is going to be Kate Hall. Kate, you are the winner. So if you send me a message through YouTube, geez, times like these I'm glad that I'm ambidextrous. Kate Hall. I won't be showing you how bad my left hand handwriting is, because it is terrible. It's totally terrible. But I can read it. Like, that's good enough, right? If you can read it, I reckon. So a little bit later on, we'll be giving away the Circinus. I would call this a sport weight yarn. It's 460 meters to 100 grams, 70% baby alpaca, and 30% silk. It is soft and delicious and good. And yet I can't use it. So congratulations to Kate for winning our first giveaway today. So send me a message through YouTube and I will get that out to you. When you get to the top of the treadle, you have to pedal hard on the downstroke. Oh, is that on your wheel? Wow. Oh yes, on your wheel. Okay, I understand. So it's a bit hard, like you've got to really push to get the downstroke to happen. Okay, hang on. This bit's hard. I'm gonna pull it out because it's too hard. I'm not happy. Gone, ditched. So I'm gonna pause and have some coffee in a second. After I finish this bit of fluff. Yeah, I was setting up for this live stream this morning, and if you caught my Facebook or Instagram feed, one of the things I noticed about setting up for this, it wasn't the popping a webcam on a tripod, it wasn't the whole different layout, it was the fact I was kicking my shoes off, because I can't spin with shoes on. I really need to take my shoes off. I like to feel the pedals under my feet. Like I quite often spin with no socks on even, but I thought that would be taking it a bit too far today. Also, I've got it set to quite cool in here so that, I don't overheat while we're chatting and having a good time. So yeah. Hang on, I just got to move my doobie. Marge Craft sliding flyer hook. It's not a doobie, Chantel. It has an actual name. Everything's doobie, right? Yeah, I can't spin with shoes on either. Yeah, look, and I see a lot of people doing it, and I try not to be judgmental, but I'm judging them. I'm like, how are you doing that with shoes on? And I think it's more of a case that I'm a bit jealous than anything else, but also I do know that shoes will wear out your treadles. Like, I don't know if you can see this. Can you? No, you can't. It's actually not even on this wheel because I was a bit more fastidious, but on my little gem, around the outside edges, it is worn, and that's because I used to spin with my slippers on, and my slippers had a hard bottom. Yeah, so I don't. I feel it feels weirdly disconnected if I spin with shoes on or Uggs. I totally agree, and I struggle. I really struggle. So, I used to spin with my slippers on at camps, and then I started wearing my socks in my slippers so that I could kick my slippers off and spin with my bare feet on. Hi, Elaine. Going. Elaine has joined the chat. We are spinning today, Elaine. I'm finally spinning up the rest of that bat. I made a video a while ago on how to dizz a bat, especially if your bat is a little bit old or it's a bit compacted, or you don't want to just tear it apart. Some people are really happy just to tear through it, and that'll do. I prefer this approach where I can sort of control it a bit better. So I definitely prefer to spin bats. Where it goes. Bare feet for it, bare feet best. True, Linda, though the partner likes the aircon and I get, yes, that's the thing, I get cold toes. Or sweaty feet. I don't know which one's worse, like either sweaty feet slipping on the timber or cold toes. So even in summer, I will tend to wear socks so my feet don't slip. Is that the bat you dizzed? It is totally the bat I dizzed, like ages ago. That's what I mean, you guys. Like I do something and then just move on to the next thing. And then this basket has been sitting in my lounge room full of fluff since that video, like since I finished spinning it all. I'm just gonna park this, so just, there we go. Come back here, you. I'll just have a little break and drink some coffee and read some things with the brass diz thingy. Yeah, so I used the Margecraft brass diz to spin the Janet Day bat, which is this amazingly huge. You've seen the colours. I mean, look at this. The colours are just, there we go. I keep trying to put it under that does not do it justice whatsoever. The white balance is screwed up on that one. I keep trying to stick it under a light thinking that's a camera, but it's totally not. Where we go. Without shoes, you probably get a much better feel for what you're doing. Elaine says, I've only spun once, but I used a spindle you spin against your thigh. Looks like a longer drop spindle. Yeah, like a Navajo spindle, is that right? Navajo, is it the ones? And it's really long and you spin it across your thigh. So yeah, I don't know if I'd like that one. I've seen them, and Lara the Bearded Dragon here in Australia makes really beautiful ones. And I think I'd want one, but it'd just be for pretties. I probably wouldn't use it. I don't like, yeah. I seriously think you need to weave it with a wave shuttle. That's actually a really good idea. I haven't woven in a really long time. Like really long. I think the last time, like I haven't woven so long that my loom is packed away. And I haven't touched it in at least 2 years. So I've probably got space to set it up in one of these rooms. So that actually makes a lot of sense, Kim. Has anyone, like I've sent out a lot of those wave shuttles. I was just wondering if anyone's used those yet and let me know how they go with it. Because I just think it looks beautiful. Personally, I think it's, like, I'm trying to keep this cord out of the way. Sorry. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just gorgeous. The texture would come up wonderfully. I think it would actually, because we've got a bit of thick and thin, and I could probably just, I've got some beautiful dark blue silk merino blend lace weight at home that got a bit in the skein winding, which means it goes to another pile until I've got more time to sort it. So I could totally do that. I totally patted mine this morning when I was rearranging some of my craft stuff. I know, that's the thing I love about Margicraft, honestly. Like, I'm a girl who hung out with my uncle a lot, and he's a French polisher. So I got a real passion for, not that I can do it, but I have a real passion about quality wooden tools. And I love quality wooden tools. I love quality finishes. Like, look at these Margicraft finishes. They sand these and re-varnish them. Like, I think it's like 3 times or at least 2 times for every part of these wheels. And you can see it and you can feel it. I pat my wheels, like I very lovingly stroke my wheels. They're just gorgeous. They're so smooth and just, there's no hard angular bit. I love it. And I feel the same way about their wave shuttle. You think it would be like rushed or something like that, but they've smoothed it, and it's the same quality of finish as on all their things. Anyway, it's not a Margicraft ad, but I love it. And that's why I sell Margicraft, is because I love the finish. And I sell hitchhiker wheels. I don't sell them because of their finish. I sell them because of their portability and their cuteness. There's a lot to be done on them to finish them, but they're not in the same price market. We're about to have a horn toot because the lunch truck's just pulling in. Casey here says, do a loom video with a wave shuttle. I don't know if anyone wants to see that. Well, I could probably get it started, because like me warping up a loom involves lots of grunting and cursing, which is why I don't weave that often, because I'm not the most comfortable with it. The Game Widow says, my grandfather was a French polisher. The smell of the polish brings back memories of his shit. I know, I'm the same. If I smell like shellac or lacquers or anything like that, I instantly think of my uncle. Allegra, she is a bit early, isn't she? Because she normally comes at 11 and 1, and it's only 11:15. One day I'll have a Margicraft. Michelle says, good quality tools are worth every cent. Yes, they are. That's the thing. Like the problem I'm having with my little gem, right? The only thing I've done to that wheel in, how long have I had it? Gosh, it'd have to be 10 years. Yeah, I think it would have to be 10 years. Is put a new drive band on it. That's it. It's had 2 new drive bands. And, you know, I dust it. That's as far as it goes. But now it's got a little problem, and I spoke to the boys and they're like, oh yeah, just do this. And I'm like, awesome. So I can fix it myself. So that's really cool. So I'm really happy. Kim says post-warping. Yes, I do post-warp from my rigid heddle. You could probably stream that at a dollars per minute. No. What wheel did you just mention? I mentioned the Merlin Tree hitchhiker wheel. So if you guys are on your thing, on your laptops or something, open up another tab and have a quick squiz. I'll pop a link in for the hitchhiker. So I need a link for hitchhiker wheels. They're on my website as well if you want to have a look there. And they do a road bug and a hitchhiker, and the hitchhiker is quite literally, it's got a cutout for its handle. It's a thumb. It's like a hitching thumb. And then the treadles, the feet treadles, are feet cutouts. So it's just super cute. But it's a what's called a friction-driven wheel, and they're really nice. They're really compact. They're really inexpensive in the scheme of spinning wheels. But they're not silent, like that's the thing, because it's friction driven. It needs to be rubbing to make, so it makes a constant rubbing noise, which if you're in a large group of people spinning and everyone's chatting, you don't even hear it, but it's when you're sitting at home in the quiet that you notice it. No, do the live chat after you've warped. Yeah, totally. Where are we? It's false economy to buy cheap tools. The problem is if you don't know what good quality is. Julie, or you don't know what's going to be good or poor quality. Price isn't always a good indicator. Yeah, that's the thing, because sometimes things are dear, but they're not great. It's one of the, it's like, just ask. Like, if you're in the market for something and you know people who know something about it, the best thing you can do is ask them, because sometimes you might learn from a mistake they made. Like, I've made plenty of spinning wheel mistakes, or learning curves, as I like to call them. But yeah, it's one of those things, like, there's so many different types of things out there, but then what I like may not be what you like. So there's, you know, there's different things as well with that. Yeah. Lunch truck's gone, guys. I'm not getting lunch out of the lunch truck today. No, I wasn't. I bought crackers and cream cheese and tomato from Aldi, along with my milk and my choose your own adventure. I just spotted it. I was like, I totally got to have it. Man, oh, the art. That's what I miss, the art. Like, they've got all sketches all through it. Like, there's another one. I love it. I think it's great. Anyway, sorry, sidetracked. Back to the book again. I'm going to move that aside and get my next beer to fluff. Oh, goodness me. Okay, so where are we up to, you guys? We're up to, it's 10:52. So you guys really reckon I should weave this with the wave shuttle? Because this will be a single. I won't be plying it on anything. I'll give it a little bit of a beating in the bath so that it doesn't come apart. Yeah, so it doesn't come apart. But other than that, it'll be a single. So, how did you discover ChowGoo needles? So a friend of mine in the US is a knitwear designer, and she was like, Chantel, because I was like, you know what I'm like, I was whinging about something I didn't like. And she was like, I've just been using these needles. She was like, I got sent out a set to try, and I really love them, and you need to get your hands on it. You need to get your hands on some from somewhere. I don't know if you can even get them in Australia, but you've got to try. So who did I buy them through? I can't even remember which company I bought mine through, but they were somewhere in the US, and I had to get them shipped to Australia, and I just went, oh my God. And like, the needles I already had at home, I had Knitpro Symphony Woods. Like, this is back in the day when there was only when they were Knit Picks and they weren't Knit Pros, but you know, so we're talking a long time ago. And I also had a set of Addy lace clicks, Addy click lace, whatever they're called. And I just basically, I didn't try to sort of work out which ones I wanted, sort of thing. I would just work, and after a little while I realized that whenever I was knitting, I just went for the ChowGoos instantly. I bought a ChowGoo small stainless steel set in the 5-inch tips because the 4 inches weren't out then, and I haven't looked back since. And when I decided I was going to start importing needles for the business, I didn't even try anywhere else. I just contacted ChowGoo, because that's what I wanted. I wanted the beautiful shaped tips. I wanted the amazing cables. I wanted all of it. So that's why I went with them. For those of you that haven't seen it, I have a whole video up on how to choose the right ChowGoo for you. I'll pop a link in later, and I'll add it over on the Fibrific Fun Zone. So if any of you are not members over on the Fibrific Fun Zone Facebook group, if you go and click, there's a link in the description down below already, so you can go and join in. We pop lots of information, chat over there after the live streams are done. Are they better than Knitpro? Absolutely, but that's my opinion. You may really love your Knitpros. My friend swears by the Knitpro carbons. I have not used the Knitpro carbons because I don't like the Knitpro joins, and I'm assuming they use the same joins on all their needles. I keep drooling over the ChowGoo set you have on your website. One day those beauties will be mine. Yeah, totally. Like, the thing is, they're not, in the scheme of sets, they're not actually that dear. Michelle says, I love everything about them. Kim says, I think they are better. It's not about the tips though, it's about the cables you will cover. Oh yeah, I am all about those red cables. The red, they've got like 6 plies of stainless steel thin wire that's twisted and then coated in plastic. They do not kink, and they're just amazing. They've got no memory. Seriously, you couldn't tell me I'd filled the bobbin? Gosh, what kind of spinning buddies are you? There you go, the nylon coated metal cords. I started with Knitpro but hardly used them. I hate my carbons. Chowgoos aren't sharp enough. I like the higher sharps. Yeah, but I don't like to bleed. I bled the first time I used the higher sharps. Elaine says she loves her Chowgoos. My first ones I ordered and I was hooked. Michelle, Unusually Awesome, did you get the Chowgoo Reds or the Chowgoo Knit Lace? Because they've got 2 different types of metal tips, just so you know. In the circulars, in the sets, it's the one type. In the interchangeables, they use the lace tips, but in the fixed circulars, they have got the knit reds, which have got the duller tips. That's the same as the 9-inch circulars only come in knit red, so it's the same duller tip as in those. I used carbons and hated them. Blunt, they drag and the joint catches the yarn. I don't know what, I've missed something here. Oh, you have the mini set? Yeah, so they're the lace tips. Fair enough. And that's the thing, that's why there's so many knitting needle companies, is that people have different preferences. They like different things in their hands. They like to hold things differently. They're more comfortable with different lengths and different finishes, and that's why you can have Knitpro, Addi, higher, Chowgoo. I'm sure I've missed somebody. Yeah, there's probably more. There's probably way more of the decent branded knitting needles. I did not include Sullivan's, Pony, or any of those brands for a very good reason. I only consider them worthy of kindling. There we go. That's my true opinion right there. I have both the lace and non-lace Chowgoos. I prefer the lace. Yeah, I prefer the lace too. I have to go and get cake and ice cream for my nephew's birthday. Oh, have fun, Elaine. Bye. We'll have to try them. I like a pointy tip. Look, you can totally grab, if you want the pointy tip, make sure you get the red lace. Don't just get the red. The red have got their duller tip. And if you get a fixed circular and a red lace, it'll feel very similar, nearly identical to how it feels in their interchangeable sets. As long as you make sure you've got the red cable and it's got the red lace tips. I don't know where you are. If you're in Australia, you can just order one thing off my website and just get it shipped. I think that if you are thinking about an interchangeable set, I highly recommend grabbing the tip you use the most, and there's 3 different cable lengths that don't actually come in the set, so I would say grab one of those so that if you do decide you like them and go and buy the set, the only thing you've doubled up on is your most used needle and also a cable, well, and then you've got a cable that wasn't included. I think more people would like to knit if they had access to good quality needles. I had one of my rant videos, I think I called it Knitting Tips for Noobs or something like that. My pet peeve is when people give beginner knitters and crocheters rubbish tools and then wonder why they get frustrated and don't keep going. Now, I did learn this the hard way when I was teaching my daughter how to knit. I just bought her cutesy little duck plastic knitting needles from Spotlight, which if you're in the US, it's at a big box store here in Australia. And she just didn't get into it. She hated it. And then I grabbed her a set of the Chowgoo single points, and she was knitting like straight away. And I was like, is it an age thing? Is it because she's a little bit older? I didn't understand what it was. And I was talking to her about it, and I was like, you know, what made you decide to try again? She goes, well, the Chow ones looked really nice. Actually, she calls them chickagoos. I don't know why. She just does. And they're smoother. And that was it. It boiled straight down to that they were better quality, and she found it so much easier. I think if you're going to teach someone to do something, give them the best chance for success, because if you give them any out, if you give them anything to battle with, if they've got to battle with poor tools, they're going to give up. They're going to think it's too hard and not worth the effort. Sorry, this is a pet peeve, so I'm on a bit of a rant about it, but I really, really, really hate it when I see people who are like, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this or not, so I just bought these dodgy crap ones. And it's just like, seriously, you've just set yourself up for failure, or someone else has, because, and the whole, well, if they really like it, then they can get the better ones. You're not really going to know if you like something. You're going to think you hate it. You're going to think you don't enjoy it because you've used something icky and plasticky or dodgy and catchy. Like, there's this brand of bamboo knitting needles. I don't know which shop sells them. Slingcraft or Spotlight, one of them. And oh my Lord, they are horrid. They're just horrid. Sorry, I've just fallen down a rant, haven't I? I'm going to back away quietly. Spotlight Lincraft needles are shite. Yes, they absolutely are. Oh, you're on the Gold Coast, so you could come and visit Fibrific HQ. I'm just near Beenleigh. Good advice: when you have to buy online without seeing anything, it can be disappointing. It totally can. It totally can. And you're really better off to talk to someone who uses the products and find out what they think. Because more often, like, I know this from personal experience. I bought the dodgy, cheap tools to start with, and it put me off so badly. It really did. And then I got my Knit Pros, and I was like, oh yeah, this is not bad. This is not bad. And then I got my Chagoos, and it was like the whole world opened up, and I started knitting lace with beads, and I just enjoyed the process more. And because I'm a process knitter, I have to enjoy the whole process, not just parts of it. So it's like when I spin fleece, I actually enjoy washing the fleece as well as spinning it. I just don't, always finish the project. Like, that's pretty normal, right? I really noticed the crochet hook. I got some Clover ones, and they are the bomb. Oh yes, I love tulip and crochet, tulip and like the tulip enamo hooks and the crochet, the Clover soft grips. And every now and again, I'm able to stock the soft grips, and it's really disappointing when I can't get them, and I'm like, oh my god, I need new needle, I need a new hook so badly, and you just have to wait. Let me get you a soapbox. Yeah, it's a bit like that. Oh, I wasn't watching that. It's a bit fuzzed up. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I just, it irritates me so much. Like, it really does. Like, there's so many people that I think would benefit from good tools. Do you like the soft grips or the Amores? I like the soft grips. The Amore handle shape is weird for me, and it doesn't sit right in my hand. I'm sure it's good for a lot of people. Otherwise, they wouldn't be making them. But this just doesn't sit right for me with how I crochet. So, yeah. But I'm a soft grips girl. And, I mean, the soft grips for me were awesome. I went onto the Tulip Enamos soft grips when I was back stitching. I used to crochet, like piece crochet for designers. And you get a really short window to get it done in. And I would end up with my wrist would be so sore I couldn't actually pick up a piece of paper. Where we go? The Game Widow says, I have a pile of 4mm hooks that I've rejected. I love my Clover Amores. Yeah, go with what you love every time. When I came back to knitting, I had no idea about podcasts, blogs, etc. So no one to talk to. I bought online by Google Shops. Ozpost shops didn't show up. Yeah, I've actually realised that with my website, my husband pointed it out very cheerfully, I might add, that if you actually type in like Nancy's Knickknacks Australia, I come up really well. But if you just, or Chagoo, I come up really well. But if you type in knitting needles, I'm like page 2, baby. So I have to work on my website SEO some more. And I think a lot of people don't realise the importance of that. And there are some good online stores based in Australia, and also there's some really nice little bricks and mortar stores. There's not many, and there's, I don't know if there's only like 1 or 2 in Brisbane that, you know, I'd go to, and even like down in Victoria there's Sunspun, which I thought was a beautiful little store. That would be the kind of store I would like to set up one day if I ever decide to go bricks and mortar. So yeah, I find the Amours pointy. See, I'm not a, you know how some people, I'm a curved hook girl. I was talking to someone else about that a little while ago. They preferred a particular kind of hook. Oh, they didn't like the ChiaoGoo bamboo handle metal heads because the metal head is not pointy. And I was like, what? And then I realised, no, they're totally right. It's not pointy, but I don't crochet. I push away with my hook rather than poke through. So, yeah. Michelle says, I found you via YouTube. I was looking for ChiaoGoos. Oh, well, that's cool. Oh, you mean the handle is pointy? Is that a good thing? I don't know. They're the ones with the curved handle, aren't they? I might be thinking of the wrong thing, you know. I mean, that's never happened before. Like every day. Julie says there's no bricks and mortar shops here, not even Spotlight now. Oh, that's terrible. Julie, what area are you in? Because, like, it's really sad when I see a lot of these sort of things disappearing and going. And, you know, like, a lot of bricks and mortars blame online stores for this stuff. And it's like, I'm an online store, so I consider myself part of the problem. But with my, like, online presence, I try to make it so that it's a little bricks and mortar-y-ish. If you've got questions, I try to answer them. If you need help with something, I'll try and make videos on it and stuff like that. Yeah, Julie says she found me through Googling Bendigo. There you go. That's weird. A regional South Australia. Oh, yeah, there's not a lot in South Australia, is there? Like, when it comes to craft stores and stuff, I mean. I've got a few customers from South Australia. And, yeah, it's hard when your location, like, because of your location, it means you're missing out on stuff you like. That bothers me when that happens. I feel very, you know, persecuted when there's something I really want and I just can't have it because it's just because of where I live. I'm like, ugh. Yeah. I get frustrated, like, with books and stuff that I can't buy online because they won't ship to Australia. So, yeah. Well, anything you need, Julie, you know I'll try and get it for you. Kim says, Lynn discovered ChiaoGoo when she was overseas and convinced me to get some and told me about you because she got her set through you when she came back to Oz. Oh, there you go. And then we met at a craft show. Is that right? At the craft show in Brisbane when I did those. I think that's right. It doesn't feel like it was only November of last year, I can tell you that. Michelle says you can't support local if they don't have what you want. There's no local to me, and that's a problem. Like in general, like, you know, I'm going to get on the soapbox again. Are you ready? They're about to change all the importing laws into Australia, and major driving forces behind it were companies like Harvey Norman and Myers and places like that, especially Harvey Norman, where they said the reason that their sales were going down was because people could import it and they weren't having to pay GST and all this other stuff, right? And it's just like, okay, the reason I don't shop at Harvey Norman is because their staff know diddly squat. You can ask them a question and then they look at you blankly. And that's why I don't shop at Harvey Norman. But, you know, there's a lot of that sort of stuff that bugs me because now they've made it that as of next year, I think it's next July, any person importing into Australia, the GST free limit is now not $1,000. It won't be $1,000. It will be $400, No, that's New Zealand. It'll be zero. Like, apparently we've got like a $100 limit. So it's going to make things hard. And like for businesses like mine, where I import a lot of my stock because no one here in Australia makes it, it means I'm going to have to start increasing my prices, which I hate doing. I hate increasing my prices. My son has a Harvey Norman soapbox very similar to yours. Yeah, I got issues. I'm sorry. Let's just keep the soapbox next to my chair here. I've got a feeling I'm going to be on it. I have a friend who feels guilty when she goes to brick and mortar stores if she doesn't buy something, even if they don't have anything she really likes or is all overpriced. I don't have guilt about that. If a store makes it so I can't afford anything, yeah, that's sometimes that happens, and or you don't want to afford it. Like sometimes I'll look at it and think, I really don't want to spend $30 on a 50 gram skein of yarn. But then there's times when you do want to spend, well, you don't want to, but you do want that thing, like you need to have the squish. But yeah, it's weird. Here we go. My son has a Harvey, that already applies on online purchases, extra 10% on Ravelry that were already expensive once converted to you. Yes, that's absolutely already happening. So external countries to Australia are being forced to charge GST. So Netflix, Mac, pretty much anywhere now. Complained that people would, Harvey Norman complained that people would come and browse in their stores and then buy online. Yeah, because they'd browse in store with money in your hand and be treated like an imbecile. So that's why you go and buy online. If they had what I wanted, then I'd buy local, but they don't. They leave me waiting in their department for 10 minutes, ignoring me. Yeah, exactly right, Gamer Widows. How about another prize draw? Well, I've only got one other prize, you guys. So we've got this prize. Okay, so I know a couple of you have said so already, but I would be very curious to know the story of how you found me. So whether we've met in real life or whether we've met, chatted online, I will pick a prize based on how you found Fiberific, and you get the Cecinas. So there you go, Joss. Prize draw. I really dislike Jerry Harvey. I don't like giving him my money. I'm the same. My soapbox is ranting about Australian companies pricing online in US dollars. I know, what's with that? I get so frustrated when I see that. Like, I kind of understand it on Ravelry because a lot of people get confused when you price things in Australian dollars. You were one of the best people I met at Queensland Spinners Guild and have stayed in touch with. That's awesome. I don't keep in touch with many people from there anymore either, really. Except for you and a couple of others. Kate, who comes along because Kate comes along to Caffeinated Crafters every now and again, so I think that's about it, really. And Karen Alpert, of course. Brisbane Craft Show the other year. Met you at Bendigo a couple of years ago. You challenged me to open a knickknacks. Yeah, I do that a bit. I have a bit too much fun with these boxes. I have like a display of these. It's on stalls and have them all locked and closed, and people are like sitting like because it looks like there's hinges. It does. It looks like there's hinges, so they're trying to open it this way, and I'll leave them go. I'll be like, yep, off you go, have fun, you can't break it. And then after a little while, when I'm feeling guilty for smirking at them for so long, I'll flip the little lock. There's a little, there's a little lock on the end here, and just flip that open, and they open that way. And there's hinges for sure, but they open like this. So I have way too much fun with the knickknacks box thing. Michelle says, searching for Chiagu needles. I found your YouTube unboxing. I'm thinking it was a recommended video as I was watching other knitting podcasts. Joss says, through Caffeinated Crafters. Cintanami Crawford says at Queensland Spinners is an open day a couple of years ago. Ordered knitting needles and picked them up. Oh, hello. Sorry, I just grabbed the wrong thing because I'm trying to scroll the wrong screen again. Oh my god. Hang on, I'll pop that down. Scroll. There we go. Hang on. Oh no, High Pocket says she forgot to add meat to her pizza because she's engrossed in the conversation. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Kim says she ordered some online needles and then ordered more fun things and then picked them up in person at the show. It's so much easier now I've attached the tracker. Oh dear. I found you on the Australian Handing and Spinners page. Yep, I love that page. I was thinking... I think this was one of the few who could first time. Yeah, I think you were too. Because I think you were like expecting the trick. Kim kept talking about you like non-stop, so I thought I had to watch you and see what she was on about. Now I'm hooked. Kim told me to check you out. Thanks for, sharing, Kim. Kim, your stalking will be so much easier with that tracker. Brian was like, I met you at the Redlands Craft Day this year. Yes, I remember, because you walked up and you were like, hi, I'm Brian, and rattled off your address. So I was like, oh my God, I know who you are. Online here on YouTube. I found you on YouTube. I was trying to find info about needles and I bought chow goos because of your video. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you love your chow goos too. And then I met you at Redlands Open. I think that happens a bit, doesn't it? We kind of find someone somewhere and then work out where they're going to be at places and say hi. Because I do that to people too. I'm a stalker. Totally a stalker. Like, I watch Gary Vaynerchuk videos for business and things like that all the time because I find his irreverence of traditional business inspiring. But he's coming to Australia, so I've actually bought a ticket to like some big business seminar thing next week. I'm going to find the whole thing so boring because Australian business people are so stiff. They're so stilted and like they must have your suit and tie and it's like a zillion degrees and you've still got your suit and tie on. Anyway, I'm going to see Gary Vaynerchuk next week. I should get referral points. You do get referral points. You've got 3. You'll be able to purchase something when you hit 15,000, just like frequent flyers. Completely useless. I bought chow goos because of your video too. Oh, that's so cool. There's Kristen Rogers says for the Jenny King knitting course then, and then on Ravelry and the Brisbane Craft Show. Yes, that Jenny King, when we had the instructors program for Craft Yarn Council of America, that was crazy. Brian says, I found you when I needed the 9-inch 2.25s. Okay, so I've got to pick one of these now. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. I think the winner chicken dinner of this one. Oh, I was going to draw one person's name, but I've just realized that person would not like the prize at all. It's going to be Sintamani Crawford. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at these names. You guys, why can't you just have like Sarah or Joe? Because you make it so hard. Anyway, sorry. Sintamani Crawford, this is yours. So PM me through YouTube. I've just got to write down your name. So Tammy goes online, not Tammy, what am I saying? Kim goes online and changes her name and tries to claim people's prizes all the time. So, we've just got to watch out for Kim. I've just got to make the scrolly thing go away. Go away, scrolly thing. There we go. You guys are working out that you know each other in real life. That's cool. I like that. That's nifty. I need beverage. It's beverage time. Do you know what? Spinning this morning has meant it's been a lot longer since my knee started hurting today, so I'm a bit excited and chuffed. Today's plans involve gluing more blinglets in the dark crystal colorway because yesterday I don't normally do sales for a start because I do pretty well put the best price I can on things straight up. But then I was just like, I needed something to take my mind off my appointment for my surgeon that I had yesterday. And I was like, what can I do? What can I do? I'm going to do something. So I thought, if I do this thing, I can take some photos. And anyway, so I decided to have like a little sale on just this one colour of the blinglets, the dark crystal, which I do very infrequently on the dark crystal, because just getting the supplies for those colours together is just a bit trickier than a lot of the other colours. And I was just like, okay, I could do it. And then do I do it in just one size? I'm like, no, do it in all 3 sizes that I've got, which is small, medium and large. And I was just so so excited when you guys liked the photo over on Instagram. And I was just like, that's really cool. And it really did take my mind off everything yesterday, so that's really good. Here we go. Still trying to get my knitting skills up so I can knit the bumblebee shawl pattern that I won from you. That was a while ago now, wasn't it? That was the bumblebee. Oh, that's right. That was supplied by oh my god. My brain's just gone completely blank. I'm visualizing her Instagram feed, and Dominique Trad. It's a Dominique Trad pattern. And that's such a beautiful pattern too. I haven't made it yet. I've got to make it too. We'll have to come and see you on Tuesday if you're open. Just send me a message, because I'm here on a Tuesday, but I don't technically open, if that makes sense. I work from here, and I do my videos and stuff from here. But I'm just like in an office. I'm not so much like a shop, if that makes sense, but you can totally come to visit. So just message me and we'll make sure that, I'm actually here, because I do venture out. Kim says, I didn't realize they're on sale. Let me just have a look at this Instagram post that I made, okay? And I'll just see if it's, you guys can vote. 1 or 2. 1, it's clear. 2, it's not clear. Hang on. This is just a full thing to tease Kim. Does that not clear enough that they're on sale? No? Hang on. There we go. Down, Chantel. There we go. Well, it's a sale. And if you followed the link, you'd see they were cheaper. I totally think you need to get Instagram as well, Julie. Although in saying that went to Facebook as well, I think. I'm going to double check that one. I think it did. Now I've got to check, because my brain won't let me not check. See? It's clear. I was under the impression it was a limited quantity thing, not a cheaper price. It is a limited quantity thing as well as a cheaper price. I'm just double checking. Yeah, it's on Facebook as well. So it's under Fiberific Facebook group. It's on Instagram. You've totally got to get on Instagram. Instagram's so much fun. All of your stuff is available for sale. I suppose I didn't write on sale, did I? Like, reduced prices, bing, bing, bing. I should do like one of them big loud carpet ads. Come on down to Fiberific, where this one thing is on sale. Actually, there's a couple of little things if they're sneaky hiding on the website. One thing on sale. Rah, rah, rah. Yes, it's on Facebook. I saw the photo but didn't see the sale sign. Yeah, so normally they're $10 a set, and you get 11, so you get the 10 of one colour and then one of a random contrast colour. But for this particular one, just because like I said, I just needed something to take my mind off the day, then I just took them down to $8.50, and I think it works out that if you get 2 packets and postage, it's like $20. I think that's how it worked out to be. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's about right. Anyway, I think it did. Oh yeah, you got to do the flappy arm fan man. Wah. Hey, have you guys seen my shirt today? I love this shirt. Hang on. Oh, there we go. My shirt today. Whoop. Who's been watching Stranger Things? I have not binged at all, so don't give away anything. But I have caught a couple of episodes of season 2, which I'm loving. I tweeted you because I can't work a YouTube. Okay. All right. I'll keep an eye out for it. Okay, I can spin a little bit more. I'd get a doobie thing. Where's the thing? Here we go. Oops, I'll just cover my knees. Cover my knees. Because no one needs to see that. Unless they're here in real life and then they can't avoid it. There we go. We're going that way. There we go. How much stuff can I get for the first lot of postage? Do you mean the $3 postage? It basically works out to be about 200 grams, but it has to fit. It's only limited things that can go in because of their width. So you've got to keep it under 15 mil width. So and that includes things packagings. Otherwise I can't, that's a large letter sort of scenario. That is that $3 postage. So you've got to allow for that. Otherwise, if someone orders too much stuff, and the system will allow it to happen, I will contact them and just go, look, I'm really sorry, but there's too much stuff to go in this $3 postage. Did you want to reduce your order or increase your postage? Do you have to use YouTube via browser to see the message option? I actually think you do have to use it on a desktop browser or in the browser version. It's something I've actually contacted YouTube about because they answer my questions sometimes. Like, not very often, but sometimes. Or at least, no, they actually answer all my questions, but some of them they answer my question with a link to a page which I'd already read, which didn't help. Just let me see. How many bobbins come with the wheel? With the Suzy Pro, you get 4 bobbins. And it's these browner bobbins that you get. You can opt for the colour bobbins if you want, like the purple bobbins, or I think we've got pink and lilac also available at the moment in the limited edition colours. But yeah, it's 4 bobbins normally. Oh, that was a statement, not a question. Oh, sorry. Whoops. Where are we? Awesome shirt and show. I agree. Look, I love this show. I also love the show. I think the show it's creepy. Don't get me wrong. And I don't let Abby watch it. But I love it a lot. Like, I just find it to be, I don't know, I was a kid in the 80s. So I kind of and I was like a kid about their age. So riding your bikes everywhere and hanging out with your mates and stuff I was totally into that. Not that I allow Abby to do it because it's not the 80s anymore. It's the 20-tweens, and I don't like. Are the bobbins plastic? Yes, they are. They're plastic bobbins. They're very light, and they've got all holes drilled inside them. If I had an empty one handy, I would show you. So that you can actually, apparently, I've not done this, but you can actually dye your spun yarn on the bobbin if you want. I don't see the benefits of it personally, but some people do it. Now maybe I will see how to message on YouTube, as I've never found it. There you go. Yeah, so it's in the it's under the About Me page. So if you go to my channel and then look at About Me, you can send me a message that way. So yeah. Yeah, so look, I'm nearly done this fibre, hey. So that's exciting, totally exciting. But you guys, I'm going to finish off this little piece, and I'm going to finish off the stream. Oh, hang on a second. Roughly how big is the wheel? As in height or weight? Height is about, well, my table is 70 high, so it's about 75 to 80 centimetres high. In weight, I would have to have a look online because I don't know, but I just pick it up and carry it one-handed. It's weighty. It's not light. This is the Suzy Pro, so it's actually got like an extra heavy wheel so that you can treadle slower and get higher spin on it. I finished my baby hat I was knitting. Oh, good job, Tara. Excellent news. All right, you guys, I'm going to get on with my day. You guys need to get on with your days. And I will catch those of you that come to Caffeinated Crafters tonight over at Browns Plains. Andrea, if you decide to come, give me a yell and I'll make sure I bring you prizes. I actually got you confused with someone else yesterday. I was very sad. I was very embarrassed. As in, there was another Andrea messaging me, and so I put my foot in it real bad. But yeah, so I will see Caffeinated Crafters tonight, and I'll see the rest of you in the coming weeks. I'm not sure if any of you noticed there was no Tuesday tutorial this week. There may not be one next week as well. I'm waiting on some equipment to arrive, and I'm also still, my brain's not quite in the creative zone for that stuff yet since the move. So I'm getting there. I'm nearly ready. And then we'll start this whole new program coming up with the extra videos and things like that. So I will see you later on, and you guys be great. Have fun and get your craft done. Don't leave 14 whips like me. Well, 34. Have a great day. Bye.